inconvenient truth presentation of
Yes, I know that there was a UP professor who
Vice
was...
President Gore.
Yes, yes.
And I invited Professor Ong in the
Yes.
hearings, who was the one, I think, who was questioning
Of the UP.
the accuracy
Yes.
of Gore. I think that he focused on the issue of greenhouse gas emission. According to reports, the greenhouse gas emission, fossil fuel, use of fossil fuel contributes only 30%. Of course, that is questionable. Only 30% of the greenhouse gas, total greenhouse gas emission in the planet, saying that the other components are from deforestation, is one major cause. And of course, the other ones are other man's activities that would tend to, like, for example, garbage. The emission from the
Methane.
garbage, yes. The disposal of garbage, for example, is also one such contributory factor to a total greenhouse emission, greenhouse gas emissions in the world. So, Your Honor, since there is still this changing definitions of what is greenhouse gas emission and what are the causes, I would say that probably we should focus on our scientists. Not only our scientists in PVORPS, not only our scientists in PAGASA or the Manila Observatory, but other such things. Now, the question is, are we sending some of our scientists to global aggregation of scientists focused on studying the causes and the effect of the causes and the effects of climate change?
I know that there are conferences abroad, Mr. President, and that there are government delegations that attend these conferences. But whether our scientists from our educational institutions are actually funded or supported by the government, I doubt that, Mr.
We
President.
have to check this.
Yes.
Because we need to develop our community of scientists.
Oh, we have
in the
great
Philippines.
scientists. In fact,
We have.
Dr. Lasco is one of the 4
Yes.
IPCC recipients of the Nobel Prize, along with Vice President Gore, along with Dr. Rex Cruz,
Yes, yes,
with Dr. Pulin, and
Yes.
the 4th one is Dr. Rosa Perez. Yes, the 4.
Are these ad hoc? Are these ad hoc events or are these programmed events that they attend?
Oh, Mr. President, they are members of the International Panel on Climate Change.
Yes.
That was established decades ago. That created the all these. That was created by the UNEP. However, they are not just a group. They have their different concerns. Dr. Lasco is the head of the World Agroforestry Center. They have their many concerns. They attend conferences, studies abroad, I think on their own. I don't know if the government officially sends them to represent the Philippine government or to enhance their scientific study on climate change. Ang tingin ko, Mr. President, sariling sikap ito. That's why I think
That's the
because
problem.
we've gifted brilliant people, not only from the UP, from the Ateneo, from the Manila Observatory, many. We simply need to put their brains together.
Yes.
And to create a commission where we can utilize all their knowledge.
There probably is a problem, Mr. President, Your Honor. How do we, as policymakers in the country, take advantage of this pool
Oh, Mr.
of
President,
scientists? Do we listen to them? Are we
and I
examining?
can actually set up, Mr. President, I love talking to brilliant geniuses like them.
Yes, but
and
as
I
a
would
body,
be more than willing to set up a meeting with these IPCC experts. But right at your back, we have the Dean of the UP Los Baños Environmental Sciences Department, Mr. President. All of them are advocates of the environment, and they will be more than willing to
Yes,
give us
yes.
lectures and to train our minds.
We have
and
to listen to this community, Your Honor, Mr. President, because we cannot like I am invited to international conferences on climate change. The only question
Next time you
is,
take me along, Mr.
yes,
President.
the only question is, I am not a scientist, and
They will be more than willing to brief you,
of
Mr.
course,
President.
we also get benefits out of those attendances to foreign conferences. Like I have become more aware of the need for us policymakers to listen more to our scientists, so that we will know what we're talking about.
But I think, Mr. President, we should not relegate climate change to a mere science, because you, as chairman of the National Defense and Security Committee, it's right down your alley. Because environmental security, as you very well know, as a student of national security in the National Defense College, socio-economic, political, religious dimension, and environmental dimension of national security. This is very urgent. That is the reason why the NDCC, as you said, should
Yes.
be a part of this commission. It really crosses so many departments and is not simply a science.
Your Honor, Mr. President, the first two hearings were focused on the scientists. The following hearings will be focused on government programs and government responses, insofar as the possible effects of natural caused disasters. But I wanted to focus first on the development of our capability to raise warnings and adopt mitigation measures to definitely, the first objective is to reduce casualties and by way of, for example, putting into place infrastructure that would provide mitigation on the possible effects. So, Your Honor, I would support such move as the creation of a commission on climate change.
Mr. President, I was reading something. I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
I would support such
Thank you.
proposal as to for the creation of a national commission on climate change, because we have not seen the worst of it yet, I think.
And we should be prepared for it, Mr. President.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Your
And for
Honor.
your information before you go, Mr. President, this climate change bill has a provision on the panel of technical experts and scientists that you were referring to, who precisely will be tapped to give light to the other maybe mandatory members who will be maybe appointed by representing LGU or representing the Senate or Congress, but there will be a pool of experts and scientists who will be the consultative body of this climate change commission. I thank you for your interventions, Mr. President, and I
Thank
would
you,
appreciate receiving materials or perhaps speeches that you called from your climate change conferences abroad that could help us in the committee hearings and the TWGs of the Climate Change Commission.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Jambi.
Mr. President, I will yield first to the minority leader.
Senator Pimentel is recognized.
Thank you very much for the kindness of Senator Madrigal, Mr. President, and the President's recognizing me. May we ask a few questions of Her Honor?
Yes, Mr. President, willingly and with pleasure to our minority leader.
I'd like to put on record my appreciation, Mr. President, for the very, you might say, important matter that Her Honor has brought before us this afternoon, and for her daring proposal to create the Commission on Global Climate Change. These are very timely ideas, Mr. President, and I'd like